This might be the last one for the night. My phone about to die and shit. All right, this one back in the '90s as a teenager, back in high school. The only all ages club we can go to was called the Arena out in Hollywood, like Santa Monica or Hollywood, wherever the fuck it was. That shit was like on fucking Highland and Santa Monica, where the fucking trannies be selling ass and shit and head. Anyway, we used to catch the 420 bus down there and shit, which is now the 156, but we'll catch the 420 and go party at the Arena. And it was crazy because downstairs was like a fucking some techno gay club shit. You gotta push through that, go upstairs, which is the hip hop room. Where all the black folks be, all the niggas be in shit kicking it. It was basically like all the teenagers and shit. So one night, I'm bored as fuck with nothing to do. So I steal my mom's car. I'm like 15 or something like that. 15, 16. I think it was like 15. I'm not even old enough to drive. But I take her car. I drive, jump on the 405. I'm like, yeah. Homie said they were going to be down at the Arena. Go see what it do. I shoot down there. Jump on the freeway and drive out to fucking Hollywood in my mom's car and shit. She had like a fucking 92 Nissan Altima or some shit like that. So I roll out there and park, get out. I got a big old blue coat on and shit, raincoat on, looking grimy. I go to the front. They like, nah, you ain't coming in, homie. I'm like, what? They're like, no, you can't come in. You be starting fights. I'm like, what? Y'all tripping. So anyway, fucking, it was some females from OVG that had just got kicked out. Some stub bitches. They talking shit, around me like, fuck you. I'm like, man, they like, what you doing? I'm like, I don't even know them like that. They're like, man, I'm like, they ain't let me in. Like, fuck them. That's how they like on West Side Original Valley Gangster Crip. Ooh, I'm like, y'all from OVG and shit. They're like, yeah, what's up? Ooh. Like, whoop de woo. I'm like, all right. They ended up being cool. Then, so I'm like, I couldn't get in, so I'm like, fuck it. I'm about to leave. So I'm leaving in the parking lot. When I'm leaving, I see this one nigga walking this way. He flamed up from head to toe. Red shoes, red pants, red shirt. And he walking with a female and shit. Like a red hat on and shit, red string. So I'm like, oh, got one. I walk past him and I fire on him. Boom. Hit him, knock him. Boom. Fucking, he on the floor. He like, cuz, what you do that for, cuz? No, I'm telling him I'm dissing. I'm like, nigga, fuck whoop de woo woo woo. I don't know where he from. I just know I thought he was a blood. At that point in time, I didn't give a fuck where he was from. But when I said that, he was like, nigga, I'm a Crip. I'm from whoop de woo woo woo. I'm like, what? I'm like, nigga. I told him, I said, man, fuck it. I said, fuck LA, nigga, this the Valley. That's what you get from being flamed up, nigga, as a Crip. And then nigga, I took off running back to my car, to my mom's car. So by the time I get to the car, and I'm trying to start it up, damn motorcycle police pulls up. Flash the light, like, get out, get out. I get out and shit, he's like, come with me. Cuffs me up, They grab me, they throw me in like this little closet, this little room and shit in the club, like in the front of the club and shit. It's like I don't know what, but I'm cuffed up in a little ass room and shit. And fuck it, I'm in there for like 10, 20 seconds, and then they open the door. And it's that same nigga. He's like, yeah, that's him. That's the nigga. That nigga just punched me in the face. I don't know why. Ooh, that nigga just fired on me. I'm like, oh man, this nigga. Fucking. What's going on with these motherfuckers? So anyway, they close the door. The police come back, and he's like, yeah, man, dude wants to press charges and shit. I'm like, man, for real? And he was like, man, how old are you? I was like, man, I'm 15. He was like, what? So I was kind of big, had little signs on me, was, kind of big, but he's like, what? He goes, hold on, man, let me go talk to dude and see if he'll drop the charges. Closed the door, came back like 5 minutes later. He was like, yeah, man, dog, dude. He cuffed me, he was like, you got to get out of here, go home right now. I was like, for sure, dude was going to drop the charges. I said, for sure. So I get out of there, bone out, get back to the valley and shit. Now, fast forward about a week later. About a week later and shit, that shit went out. I'm back up there. I'm back at the arena. But I caught the bus. I caught the 420 and shit that time. I ain't bored as fuck. I got shit to do. The homies was doing something. I don't know what, but I catch the bus by myself out there in Hollywood and shit. I go up, and this time they let me in. So I go up in there. I see some of the homies from Wisset. Nigga John, Chopsticks, Badass. I think Rug was there. So I'm like, what's up? Chop it up. They doing their thing and shit. I'm not really with them, but I know who they are. I done play football with them and shit, and Pop Warner ball. And I know these niggas. So I'm standing against the wall because I don't never dance. So I'm standing against the wall. I'm holding the wall up. Next thing I know, two niggas come like this. They stand in front of me and shit. They just on me like this. And fuck it. So I'm like, what the fuck? Next thing I know, here comes a light-skinned nigga who I just socked out last week. He like, yeah, that's that nigga right there and shit. So I'm like, oh, this nigga that came up here with his homies and shit. Like, all right. So I'm like, man. They're like, man, why you firing on him? I'm like, man, that nigga was flamed up, nigga. Fuck that. And I thought he was a Damu. I thought he was a blood. And he was just like, all right. And before I know it, that nigga John and Chopsticks come out of nowhere. Push them niggas to the side. It's a problem, cuz. It's a problem, cuz. Y'all got a problem with the homie? Ooh. Chopsticks fling his shirt open like, phoom. He just got his Dub AG tat on his stomach and shit. It's still looking like wet paint. But fucking, and they're like, nah, it's all good. Your homie though, we trying to figure out what happened. I'm like, man, that nigga was flamed up. My nigga got fired on the. So next thing I know, that same nigga, nothing happened that night. I get out of there, I kind of roll out with them. I see them niggas outside, but I skirted out of there and shit. I got out of there slick. So like a week or two later, fast forward, I'm back up there. And I see that same nigga. And this nigga come up and apologize to me. He was like, my bad, homie. I was in the wrong for being flamed up as a Crip. I'm still on him like, all right, homie. Like, I wasn't tripping this shit, but he was like, my bad, and apologized and shit. So I was back in the 90s where you really had to be careful when you wearing that red or blue and shit, man. Niggas wasn't asking where you was from. They was just getting off.